You guys. In the chat room. It's the lobby. That's the word I was looking for yesterday. Sarah, Cheryl, Sarah, and Kathy, and Dawn. 2. There, that wasn't so great. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to this Law of Attraction Q&A. I'm Bob Doyle. I'll be facilitating the A part of the queuing, although I do a little queuing myself, as we all know. So everyone just grab your warm beverage of choice in your Bob Doyle Show mug, which I'm sure you all have. But you've just forgotten that I've requested that you send pictures of them once you make them. I know, we get busy and we forget things. It's okay. So welcome all of you. Also, those of you who are watching on YouTube, and I know you're out there. I didn't used to know, but now I know. Haha, so no hiding. So say hello, and I'll share your thoughts. And this, oh shoot, I did the wrong one, but look. Let's all sing this together, and then we'll get right into the Q&A. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. And get ourselves some snacks right now. How do I get rid of that picture? That's what I was afraid of. I was afraid if I changed something. All right, guys, you got to give me 2 seconds to do a technical thing that I didn't think through, but it's all okay. Sorry. It's just, look, guys, this is what it is to hang with me, but I hope the payoff is good. So I'm going to have to see if this resets things by putting Leanne up here on the screen, who is saying, "Morning, Bob," and hopefully this will fade away in 8 seconds. This sure should have been done before I went live. But you know, aren't we always live deep inside? Okay, so here's how this works. I answer your law of attraction related questions. And so, but I do have a question for all of you, as I always do. I'm not sure how to phrase it, though. I've been sort of toying around with it all morning. Here's the thing. Why do we do any of this? The more I do these law of attraction Q&As, the more I wonder to myself: are these helping people? Are they getting it? Are they implementing it? You know, is this a helpful thing? And it's not just me. Do people in general take answers from things like this and do something with them? And sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is no. And then it's like, well, what if the answer is no, then why not? And, you know, when we're talking about law of attraction Q&A, and it's like, why isn't the law of attraction working for me? How do I get rid of these negative emotions? All these other things. Sometimes I think that people are, it's about not seeing the big picture, the big vision. They're so focused on this little minute thing that they know they quote unquote have a problem with, that they spend all their time focusing on those little things, or trying to understand a piece, or, you know, untangle something, when really what you're supposed to be doing is really just envisioning what you want and not putting so much focus on what you do not want. And, you know, again, it's because we don't really, most people, even law of attraction people, quote unquote, don't fully understand how that law of attraction is working. They think it's something that they kind of turn on when they want to, but that somehow their 90% of their other thoughts and actions throughout the course of the day aren't seen by the universe. It's the approach of, you know, I'm going to spend 45 minutes a day studying the law of attraction, rather than spending 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, living in alignment with how you want to feel when your vision is fulfilled, because that's what this is about. You know, we get so focused on using the law of attraction as this tool, as if it is to repair something that is broken, and we have all of our attention on that. And the problem is that when people do this type of thing, like if you just check in once a week and listen to some Q&A and whatever, okay, but that's not going to create the vibrational change in you, the behavioral change, the whatever you want to call it, on a long-term basis, that's going to bring you into alignment with your vision being fulfilled. It has to be who you are. It has to be your vision has to be an extension of who you really are, and you need to be being that person right now, not waiting until the vision's fulfilled before you give yourself permission to be that powerful person, that loving person, that person who feels abundant in any situation, no matter what number appears on a bank statement. So the sooner you can start to be that person, the sooner you're going to move into alignment with the vision that supports that person. Does that, everybody making sense? Is everybody making sense? I meant to say, is that making sense to everybody? Look, it's Evie. Oh, you guys, this is like Periscope time. Now see, now I know that things are happening with this going daily, because little by little, new people are squeaking in, and people from my past are showing up like Irma, and yesterday Julie. Wasn't that delightful? If you missed yesterday's show, you got to go back and watch it. It was just crazy. It was crazy. Anyway, all right. So getting back on point. This is why, you know, personal development in general has such a huge failure rate. Because people aren't consistent with it. They'll study it for a certain number of hours a day, and then they'll go out in their life and they'll try to implement, but they let all the familiar stop them. The conversations, the negative influence from other people, they let all of that derail because they're not really focused on their vision, and they don't really understand the impact of letting themselves get derailed by other people or old thought patterns or whatever that aren't in alignment with where you want to go. So, what do you do? All right, well, here's my answer, and this is what I have learned after teaching this stuff for a really long time. You need a different level of support than getting a self-study program or checking in every now and then on a Q&A or watching Abraham videos on YouTube. You have to bring this stuff into your everyday life. And you need a support system because, look, just admit it. Some of you have tried to implement this stuff, and other people, the input from other people has stopped you. Right? They've either poo-pooed it, or their negativity is too much for you and you just can't handle it. Look, if I'm lying, correct me. I don't think I am. So, hold on a second here. All right. So that's just the reality. You're going to get bombarded with stuff because you've lived your whole life up to this point putting out a particular vibration, attracting particular circumstances, particular types of people that are all in alignment with what you're putting out there, whether you did it on purpose or whether you did not. So it's about learning how to do it on purpose and having the ongoing support, not just getting your questions answered. Yes, I'm happy to do that. I can answer any law of attraction question. Will you implement what you learn into your life on an ongoing basis? Because if you don't, you just have to understand that you're sending a very mixed signal. If you're not consistent, neither will your experience of reality be. But I promise you that if you see your life consistently some particular way, whether you like it or not, it's because you're thinking consistent thoughts. You're looking at the same things the same way all the time. And you have the ability to look at things in a completely different way. Your ability to reframe just about any situation is almost infinite. And yet most of the time you think there's no other way for me to feel except this right now. So you need to be shaken out of that and shown through example. Here's about 1,000 different ways you could look at that. And now how does that feel? Because that feeling is what changes everything in terms of vibration and just how you go through life and how you occur to people. So the reason we have group coaching for 90 days is because you need that kind of extended period of time. Now look, I'm definitely here to talk about group coaching today, and I'm still here to answer your questions. And okay, so great. Jen asked a question, and I will answer it. Right now, in fact. Best way to start and end every day to begin the alignment. So I think that at first, like rituals like that, like something you do at the beginning of every day, at the end of every day, to get into the habit is fine. But again, really, it's about being this way. So you don't even have to ritualize it. You don't ritualize the way you are right now, at least not consciously. It just is. This other way could be just how it is too. But it's still going to be all about some kind of visualizing, right? To move yourself into, yes, this is how I want to feel. So morning, evening, afternoon, brunch, whenever. Hi, Dawn. We got so many Dawns. All right, we got 2. All right. So if we can agree that you need the support, let's step back and let's look at another thing kind of logically about how we got here in the first place and how much money and time and years did you invest. This is an old thing I've said. This is nothing new coming from my mouth. But how much time and energy and money have you spent on education, etc., to get you into this situation that you're now desperately wanting to change? Investing in ourselves is just a part of it. Time is part of it. Money is part of it. Energy, emotion, we invest. It is an expression of self-love when we do that for ourselves. You know, and if we rationalize not doing it, then I know, look, guys, I promise you, I am very aware of what this sounds like in terms of like, I'm in terms of trying to get you to feel a certain way. But I'm really just stating the truth, you know. What are you going to do if you really want your vision to be fulfilled? If you really want your life to change? If you really, really, really want it? And if you don't, if you aren't at that point yet, well, that's half the problem. It's one thing to be, I'm kind of annoyed by this, but there's another thing to have a strong vision that is pulling you. So first that, and if you don't have that, then you got to get some support in getting that because it's not being inspired by your current environment. You need a group of people to show you how awesome you are in all these various areas so that you can, and it's not going to be easy at first. It's going to take a while to be able to accept how awesome you are if you don't believe that right now. And if you try to do this on your own, you're surrounding yourself with the same stuff, tell me, how are you going to change it? I have become so much more passionate about this group coaching stuff since in the past year or so, since we've been doing it the way we've been doing it, because of just the impact it has had on people. And I'm now going to share something with you. That's right. That's right. Now look, just bear with me. And I'm going to have a little comment. Obviously, I have a comment at the end. But just do me this courtesy. If you are just, whatever, if you have the slightest thought in your mind, well, maybe I could use some support, maybe, but I don't know. If that's a seed of that, watch this.
I feel because I've done so much personal development, I'm not saying I know everything.
It's not that I didn't know this stuff.
I did come in with some understanding.
No, it was a lot of stuff that I already knew, but I wasn't actually doing the action.
There are so many doors open for you. You can go wherever you want to go. And I think that's where I was getting bogged down was, well, not knowing what I even wanted.
It's not really enough to have an intellectual understanding.
It was just like I kept reading and reading. It was going in my head and out the other side and just not putting it together.
You hear it and you're like, okay, yeah, right, yeah. It can be anything.
And in fact, before the group, I was getting so darn frustrated because it was like, well, how come other people can get this together? How come I can't?
But there's always something more to learn.
There are things that the books just don't give you, where you go to Bob and Bob's like, So this is what they don't tell you. Like, why are they not telling us this?
I needed something different to take it to the next level.
You know, the group helped me and Bob helped me realize that there's more involved.
It made me accountable.
A lot of self-discovery happens, a lot of eye-opening, truly eye-opening realizations.
And when Bob's program showed up, and it kind of showed up fortuitously, you know, I didn't expect it, I was like, oh yes, yeah, definitely.
There are no limits to the possibilities, and you don't truly believe that until you understand this process and the law of attraction.
It's like when a doctor takes you out of pain, you're just so grateful. That's how I feel.
I mean, it completely exceeded my expectations, the whole thing.
It's brilliant.
About halfway through that course, it was like somebody pushed the joy button, and I let go of anything that had ever been weighing me down, ever, and it was gone.
Guys, see, I didn't even let it fade beautifully. And you know, as strong as much as they say, I guarantee you, I haven't asked them this, but this is my feeling. If you were to ask any one of those people about what they said, they'd say, well, it still didn't come across as powerful as it was, because you have to experience it. You know, I can show you videos like that all day, but you know, it will never. It's like trying to explain virtual reality with a two-dimensional video. It's like, you can watch that, you can listen to that, it can trigger something, but it's still not like being in there. And by the way, Nino, it doesn't seem to be here today, but our friend Nino, who's been watching our broadcasts, even on the Bob Doyle show, has joined us in the 90-day group. So let's get some friends in there with him. Okay, so let's see. So meanwhile, as I was going on and on about things, we had all these people come in. Oh, I forgot to fix that. So that's, look, it's just behind the scenes. That's not important. But we had Sarah and, I'm sorry, not Sarah, because Sarah was here already. But Melanie and Catherine joined us. Chara. So Chara asked, why do their words make me cry? Well, why do you think? What's your intuitive answer to that question, right? Probably because it pokes a little something in you, like, yeah, that's it. That's what I want. That's what I'm feeling. You know, obviously, that's why I share these stories, because I want you to know that some of these people came in here not knowing, like Sarah said, not knowing even what they wanted, right? And not knowing, not even knowing sometimes what they were up against, and then realizing it. And then going through the journey of dealing with it on an ongoing basis. And it is a ride. Am I right, boys and girls? It's a ride. But it's a fun ride, and it is one worth taking. Hi, Mike. Mike joined us. Don't trap yourself in yourself. That almost sounds like a Yes lyric. Anyway, so now here's the thing. I've been showing you this. Where is it? Oh, I have to click the right button. I've been showing you the, okay, I've been showing you this, right? This link is for those people who go, all right, I'm in. Whatever. I've invested so much in my life, this much. I definitely need the support. I need the tools. I need the thing. I've been trying it on my own, blah, blah, blah. Fill in the blank. You know what you're saying to yourself right now. So you get in there. Now I have another link for others of you. Now hold on just one moment, because I've been doing so much clicking around. BobDoyleShow.com/group to delay the action you already want to take. Now, when you go to that link, I'll show it again because it's going by quick. When you go to that link, you won't go right to the web page where there's an enroll button and all that scary, intimidating stuff. No, we'll have a nice little conversation. I'll share other little testimonial videos with you, you know, to sort of ease you into it so your ego can feel like, all right, no, I need to be coaxed. but you're going to do the same thing, right? So let's just jump in. But if you'd rather do the slow way, that's just fine. That's why I put it in place. I know how people are. You know, if I'm talking to you, you know who I'm talking to, right? It's like you're going, oh, man, another program, really? 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 How do I know? How do I know it's going to work? Well, obviously it will be up to you, ultimately. But I'll be there every day for 90 days. So will the group. And we'll have weekly sessions, and we'll have hot seat coaching, and we'll do all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to be a family, and these folks will vouch for that as well. And you know, some of these people have been with me now, like Leanne and Dawn, for over a year with the coaching. Dawn I've known for many more years. And she's still doing the coaching. Why? Why would she still be doing this coaching after a year if she got no value from it? It doesn't make sense, does it? No. And why do several of these people keep doing it? Because support is critical. And all of these people have discovered that firsthand. Now look, I know that there's a lot of group type of things that promise support. And I am willing to bet that we do way more than them. That's just my gut feeling, given how much time I know I spend in that group every day, right? Posting videos, answering individual questions, you know, giving the kick in the pants when necessary. Any of you who've been in there been kicked in the pants by me? Dawn says, because life keeps getting better and she loves the success. And Leanne says, yes, I did 2 30-day courses and the 90-day. Boy, that just, I gotta, you know what? I'm gonna have to find a compromise on those, on the timing of that thing, because that's getting a little squirrely. Anyway, you guys can read. So any other, so that was my intro. So now any other law of attraction questions? Ha ha ha. Oh, seriously, it's just, you have to ask. It goes back to my original question. You have to ask, what are you really up to in your life? What do you really want? You know, that we know we drive safely, we buckle our seatbelt, we eat, we do all this stuff to keep ourselves alive. Right? We avoid dangerous situations to the best of our ability. We go to the doctor most of the time. If we're sick, we want to stay alive. We want that, so we got that. So what are we going to do with it? Are we doing it just so we can just keep suffering through something, tolerating something? When we have so much creative potential, if you just learn to direct your energy in a productive way, you know, if you just learn to look at things in a way that empowers you and allows you to appreciate how awesome you are, instead of looking at everything that's quote unquote wrong with you and where you're not good enough and how you'll never whatever, right? But so many people have that. And it's because that's the, you know, that's how they made, that's the meaning they made out of their environment, their experience in life. And if you've had that for your whole life, guess what? It takes a little while to change it. So that's why we even went from 30 days to 90 days, because we needed more time. And now a lot of the people who did the 90 days are in our monthly momentum program, which is just kind of a maintenance thing where I check in a little less often, because all my time will be in the 90-day group, which you are chomping at the bit to jump into right now. We're going to start in April, and the reason I can't tell you a firm date right now is because I've got the whole move to Vegas happening in a couple of weeks, and I just, you know, I don't know for sure what my technical setup will be until it is set up. So I just want to be sure I can support it, but it'll definitely be probably in the early part of April. We meet once a week live, generally on a Saturday morning, but all through the week I'm popping in doing live things, or I'm doing, you know, it's not just that once a week. It is a everyday access. Everyday access. Okay? All right. All right. Jen says, if I can find my mouse. She didn't say that part. I keep saying there are clues all around me, but I still do not know my life's purpose. I'm a happy person. I just don't know why I'm here. Now, see, I would have... We got to get this easier to bring people... Well, whatever. Jen, you know what? So one of the things I'm going to do before we actually launch or end the enrollment is sort of a free session, just exactly like I do for the group coaching. So you can come in and you'll experience exactly what we do on a weekly basis. I'll come in with some sort of a teaching point, and then we'll do some Q&A or some hot seat coaching or whatever. And I'm going to do a free one of those. And I would invite any of you who are like, I don't know, even though you already know, to come in and experience. But don't use that as a delay. Go ahead and enroll, and then come to that free thing anyway. You get a head start, okay? But my question, I would have an ongoing list of questions for you, Jen. Like, well, what do you enjoy doing? What are your beliefs about that, and etc. We would drill down, but a lot of us get so hung up on what is the purpose, right? Like it has to be written down somewhere. Like if you can't describe it to someone, then it's not valid. Guess what? That's not true. I would think that your purpose is something that language would definitely not be able to meet. You would transcend language. You could kind of describe, well, this is what I'll be doing and this is what my life would look like, but the feeling of purpose is something much different. So trying to define it sometimes can stop people, because it's not that. It's more of a feeling. So instead of trying to figure out your purpose, just what do you enjoy? What do you enjoy doing, and why do you enjoy it? What part of you gets lit up, do you think, when you do it? And don't think about money, and don't think about what lights you up. That's the place to start. And again, it's about not judging what you come up with, because people do it. They go, well, I like scrapbooking, but I don't. That's not it. Stop. What we do is we look at what you enjoy, and we look at the elements of that. What about scrapbooking do you like or love? Well, I get to be creative in this way, I visual, blah, blah, blah. And then we start to uncover what's the underlying theme, maybe, between all the things that you enjoy and things you love. And then we get a better sense of purpose, even if we still can't put words on it. It's only important that you know it, really. And to be able, in terms of getting coaching around it, just to be able to describe the general essence of it, so that we're able to go identify the areas that might be slowing you down, those little nagging voices that keep coming up in your head. Your mom when you were 7, and oh, why did you have to say it that way? All right, and then we just don't do that. Thank you, Catherine. You have a fab day, too. You get those kids to school. But you teachers, leave those kids alone. All right. Sarah's coming in. She's swooping in, Jen. You got to do the coaching. Perfect for you. It'll put the polices in place so we can all feel safe. Melanie even says, now, look, you guys, if you can trust anybody in this room, it's Melanie Bundock. Group coaching is the best. If you're on the fence, just do it, Bob. Oh, Bob's the best. I didn't read that far, I promise. But see, I'm just going to accept it. What if you have many purposes in life? Is that a good thing, Bruno says? Okay, so this is really an interesting question. I'm going to go over time just to answer this. Is it a good thing? Now, see, that is such a, we've been programmed to assess things like that. Is it good or bad? Seriously. Now, we all do this kind of thing. But think about how, now, no offense here, Bruno, but think about how kind of ridiculous it is to assess whether it's good or bad, that we feel like it could be bad, that we're drawn to many things, that many things call to our heart. That our perception of things has gotten so twisted that we would actually consider it bad or wrong. We're not doing it right if we want other things. Guys, there's lots of people out in the world who do a lot of things, that follow a lot of their passions. If we can do that, we're allowed. You don't, and that's the problem with trying to laser in on this, what is my one passion? You know, you want to find the essence of it, right? The feeling of it. Because that's what activates the whole thing in the way that we want. Jen, now I'm about to make you ultimately accountable. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, in writing. So let's give it up for Jen. See, now we've really layered it on, because now she's got applause. What, I got to take back the applause if she changes her mind? It's this kind of accountability that you'll receive in the 90-day program, but all with love and hugs. It's, guys, is it love and hugs in there or not? I know it's love and hugs. You don't even have to tell me, but I know it is. Okay, all right, well, I went over time, so I may as well just play this funky music. Jen says she really is. I think that is outstanding. I'm really, really excited, Jen. We've been connected online for so long, and now we get to play together for 90 days. See, now I just got a new family member. Like, Jen has now joined the league of people who is part of this huge coaching family that we started over a year ago. And it's just getting bigger and bigger. And we want you to be a part of it too. So, no, not that one. That's for the other people. Nope, not that one. That's the same one.